Hello. I finished this junk journal actually a couple weeks ago, but it's taken me till now to get time to sit down and actually do a video. I've been working on some other projects, but I love to make these mini junk journals. They're a lot of fun. You get to use up some scraps and maybe try some new materials and new ideas. And I just think this one is very pretty. It is roughly 4.5 by 6 inches with 2 signatures and 128 pages. 2 of those pages are actually fabric pages, which I didn't count in the page count. The cover on this one is double-sided cardstock. It's the same cardstock all the way around. I love that printed bee. And I've stitched this all the way around with a green colored thread, and over the spine put this pretty eyelet trim, and I've used muslin and layered it with a printed image that I machine stitched around it and inked the edges for dimension and added the word abundance. And I just love this print. And this ties with a pretty piece of lace. And inside this, the other side of the cardstock, this is one of my butterfly photographs, and I've added some digital print trim and the word inspire. Add a little bit of decorative paper along some of the edges just for contrast and something pretty. Some washi tape, one of my photos, some coffee dyed papers throughout. This journaling spot is some coffee dyed paper, and it tucks in here. I've layered some craft paper in with this printed image. Butterflies, and there's butterflies, birds, flowers throughout this journal. Lots of space to journal or to add your own photos or magazine pictures, anything visual that you find that you want to add in here. This is one of my photos, and this page I think is kind of neat. It came from a book that teaches calligraphy. This is from a collage that I did and scanned, and I printed out and used it in my journals. And this is a piece of vintage rickrack trim stitched on with pink machine stitching. I stenciled here, stamped the bee and fussy cut it. Coloring book page, more coffee dyed paper, and added some pink stitching around the edges for interest. Stitched on this cardstock pocket, stenciled here, and added a couple journaling tags in the pocket. Here I've layered washi tape and paper and the word gratitude. This cute picture of the birds came from a book that I picked up at an Ollie's discount store, in with some of the adult coloring books. They had some books that were $2–3 a piece, just chock full of pretty images that I can use in the journals. And I layered this with some paper and just some corner spots of washi tape. And this is on the back of a vintage greeting card, which we'll see in a minute. And here we have a sticker, and I've stitched on some lace, 2 of my photos, the center of the signature, and I've added 2 punched flowers. And here's another one of those pictures from the book from Ollie's, and layered with some paper. And this is that gorgeous vintage greeting card. All the details, the scalloped edge. This has a nice feel to it. It's got some embossing and just a little bit of highlights in gold. Lots of space to journal. Some stamping. More machine stitching around the edges. Again, I stenciled and then stamped the bee and fussy cut it. The back of my collage again. more photos of mine. A sticker. Stitched this cute little pocket and added a couple tags here. You could journal on the back of those. And here I've added a fabric flip. You can hide your writing or your image under there. End of first signature, beginning of second signature. And I've layered paper and an image and some washi tape. This is coffee dyed. And I've stitched a pocket and used some washi tape here. I love the colors and the patterns in that washi tape. And a couple tags. This tag has a punched image out of one color of cardstock, and it's backed on the green, and I've stamped Beauty is Everywhere and machine stitched around. You could journal on the back. And this cute miniature postcard, and I've stenciled here. This is an old piece of stationery. Some vintage trim stitched on here in a pocket, a space to journal, some washi tape trim, stamping. It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are. I don't think I've done that growing up part yet. Not planning on it anyway soon. And this pretty paper was drawer liner, and it has a very, very mild lavender scent. And I've stitched that around with purple thread. And this is one of the fabric pages. Piece of stationery that I picked up at a secondhand store. And I've made a pocket here, and I've just layered some paper and a print of a butterfly, and you could put something in here. And I've layered paper trim and stitched along this edge, just for decoration. And this is fun to do. I take paper scraps and attach those to a strip of cardstock, and I think there's some book page in there, and machine stitched that onto paper and then stitch it onto the edge of the page. Makes a neat texture and a little bit of color there. And again, this is just some layers of scrapbooking paper and cardstock, some sheer fabric here, and a piece of vintage trim that's got rickrack and the crochet work on that. Real pretty. I picked that up at a secondhand store as well, and I wish there'd been more of it. Stamped the bird down here. This cardstock pocket I stitched on, added some trim, tags, journaling spots. This is one of my images. This one is not, but this is one of my photos. Center of the signature, and again, the punched flowers. Stamping again with some paper and some washi tape. More stamping. A corner flip up pocket here. Hope happens. I took the remainder of the paper and made a tag. It's got embossed hearts on it. This was the back of a calendar. All kind of pretty flowers folded over, stitched it on to make a pocket, and stamped here a butterfly and delight in the little things. And this has coffee dyed paper stitched on the back. I like that pretty yellow and green trim. I machine stitched that to the edge. This coffee dyed paper, I've added that pretty washi tape with an image of a bird. The back half of the fabric page with the pretty bees and the flowers. More of that lavender shelf liner paper. A sticker, Imagine. More stickers and washi. More stamping. Layered book page, washi tape, butterfly images. stamped on coffee dye paper, Simply Enjoy It All, with some washi tape. And the last page here, coffee dyed. I folded it up for another pocket and that same pretty washi tape and stenciled along the edges and made this little booklet with a sticker on it. It's made with a cardstock cover and just several pages of journaling space inside. Slips right in the pocket. There's the back. And there you have it. Thanks for watching. Fun to make. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Bye.